Views expressed on the following program are those of the host, guests involved. They do not reflect the views of this. Ladies and gentlemen, it's another Brother Wade program. We go into the program with rock music again. It's the only thing I can find. It's the only kind of music I can find, and thank God it shut off because I'm just about ready to get a headache from it. Today is a day that I did not prepare for the show. I did not prepare for today's show. The reason being is because I think I don't know what we're going to have for the program. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what the program's going to be like. I know we are in trouble. So let's start with the news first. We would normally get into some news. We would normally get ourselves into a better bracket of something or something of that nature. But instead, we have a war almost going on. I'll explain this a little later. And so we'll begin the news portion with some information, a rundown, if you will, from Sky News.
The battle for Kiev, buildings hit by missile strikes as Russian forces approach the capital. Queues for weapons as residents take up arms and the government tells them to make firebombs. And the desperate attempts to flee, with thousands of people heading for Ukraine's western borders. Right. Outside the capital, Russia's onslaught continues with hundreds more attacks right across the country. In Moscow, Vladimir Putin claims he's ready to negotiate, but tells Ukraine's military to seize power. And NATO bolsters its flank, deploying combat-ready troops to its eastern borders and sending air defenses to Ukraine.
And now we go to NBC News.
We are reporting tonight from a country fighting for its survival against one of the most sophisticated and largest militaries on the planet. I'm here in Lviv, where we're already hearing air sirens, but its citizens say they are ready to fight. New satellite imagery just in tonight appears to show hundreds of Russian military vehicles in a convoy heading towards Kyiv. A senior U.S. defense official says Putin's forces are 30 kilometers from the capital. The people we've met are resilient, they are defiant, and they are united. But how long can they hold off attack after brutal attack? Tonight, as Ukraine tries to fend off missile attacks and relentless shelling, a possible shift between the two sides. Ukraine and Russia agreeing to hold negotiations on the border of Belarus, their security guaranteed by Belarusian strongman and Putin ally Alexander Lukashenko. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky doubting the outcome but hoping for peace. For now, Ukrainian soldiers managing to stop Russian advances on Kyiv, but new images appear to show growing Russian ground forces pushing towards the capital. Russia still targeting Ukraine's infrastructure. A missile strike at an oil depot near Kyiv lit up the night sky. And in Kharkiv, an explosion at a gas pipeline as more heavy fighting broke out in the streets. Tanks burning alongside the roads. Fighters surrounded by destruction. The path of war marked by bombed-out vehicles, charred roads, and buildings blown out. This resident saying, "My friend lives here, so I came to check. It is very bad." Innocent civilians caught in the crosshairs. This 9-story apartment building shelled. Civilians helping civilians any way they can. Their homes destroyed. One woman died. 20 people were rescued from the rubble as dozens more hid out in safety. The death toll is rising. At least 350 people have been killed, more than 1,500 injured. Still, the citizens of Ukraine are resolute. The mayor of Lviv, the cultural capital of this country, telling me even his wife will take up arms if need be.
As a Ukrainian, how does that make you feel, especially as a Ukrainian leader? Have you felt pride for your people?
It is great honor for me. My people today, like lions, and million people in different countries support our position. We fight for democracy in words.
And so many Ukrainians spent another night underground in bomb shelters and subway stations. With more international help rolling in the form of supplies and weapons, Ukrainians are bracing for another bloody night.
And now we'll go to Fox News.
A development that might have seemed unlikely just a few days ago. Russia and Ukraine agreeing to talks at the Belarusian border.
We are going there to listen, and we are going there to say what we think of this war and Russia's actions.
Ukrainian forces so far are putting up a fierce fight, faring far better than expected in fending off Russia's invasion. 4 days into the fighting, Russian troops have failed to take any major cities in Ukraine.
Vladimir Putin expected an easy win here. He thought he would waltz into the capital, into Kyiv, and he would overthrow this government and might even be welcomed as a liberator. And of course, the reality has been something quite different.
Russia claims its assault is aimed only at military targets, but bridges, schools, and neighborhoods have all been hit. More than 350,000 Ukrainians have fled the country since fighting began. The UN estimates the conflict could produce as many as 4 million refugees. Meanwhile, Putin is ordering his military command to put its nuclear deterrent on high alert in response to what he called aggressive statements from NATO member countries. The White House calling that a baseless accusation.
This is really a pattern that we've seen from President Putin through the course of this conflict, which is manufacturing threats that don't exist in order to justify further aggression.
U.S. defense officials have not disclosed the state of their own nuclear readiness, only saying they're prepared at all times to defend the homeland. In Kyiv, Trey Yingst, Fox News.
And now finally we have one from WGN News.
It's the biggest war in Europe since 1945, and that is why the UN met at 3 p.m. Sunday to call for an emergency special session of the General Assembly. In an escalation of East-West tensions over Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered Russian nuclear forces put on high alert Sunday because of what Putin called aggressive statements by leading NATO powers. The U.S. ambassador to the UN was not surprised.
It means that President Putin is continuing to escalate this war in a manner that is totally unacceptable, and we have to continue to condemn his actions in the strongest possible way. We have to ramp up our efforts here at the United Nations and elsewhere to hold him accountable.
Amid these growing tensions, Ukraine announced that a delegation from the country has agreed to meet with Russian officials for talks. This latest development coming as scattered fighting was reported in Kyiv, with battles breaking out also in Ukraine's second-largest city, Kharkiv, and in strategic ports.
This is a behavior which is irresponsible, and of course if you combine this rhetoric with what they are doing on the ground in Ukraine, waging war against the independent sovereign nation, conducting full-fledged invasion of Ukraine, this adds to the seriousness of the situation.
The European Union said it would finance the purchase and delivery of weapons to Ukraine and close EU airspace to Russian aircraft, in essence practically banning Russia from the European skies. But some are saying the sanctions must go further.
We ought to be sanctioning not just Putin, not just Lavrov, not just the oligarchs, but all of their families. This behavior, this aggression against Ukraine is something that the world simply cannot tolerate.
Our thanks to McGee Hickey reporting. The mayor of Kyiv says 9 civilians have been killed in the attacks on the capital city. But Vitaly Klitschko says the residents are holding strong, and he is hopeful they can keep up the fight as Russian troops continue to move closer to the city.
It doesn't have 100% control, but because we build this territorial defense in very short period of time, but it's patriotic. These people is patriotic. Everybody feeling not so well. We impressed, but not depressed.
Kliko also says reports that Russian troops have completely surrounded the city are false. Meanwhile, an 8 p.m. curfew has been implemented. Right now, hundreds of thousands of people are fleeing the war in Ukraine. The United Nations Refugee Agency estimates almost 400,000 have escaped to nations that border Ukraine. That includes Romania, Poland, Hungary, and Moldova. Volunteers from far and wide have shown up to help the refugees as they arrive. At the Romanian border, government workers are handing out basic amenities. People and businesses are pooling resources to provide refugees with free shelter and free food.
So this now brings us to the point where you've heard the news. I just played all the news. You see what's going on, and Ukraine needs our help. It needs our support. And the rant that I'm slowly about to go on is based on fact. Do not think that I'm going up against a leader of a country. Do not think I'm posing my own thoughts on you. Do not think that I don't like the people of Russia. Remember, the people of Russia, there's videos, they're protesting, they're having a hard time right now. Okay, it's a leader of a country, Putin, doing something wrong. Now this rant is going to be slow. I'm not going to yell, I'm not going to scream. I'm going to try to talk sense to everybody that's listening to my voice today on this program. It needs to be done this way. I cannot get mad and scream and yell. There's enough yelling, there's enough screaming, there's enough problems, there's enough conflict, there's enough anger, there's enough sadness. Doesn't need to come from me. So we begin with a few statements that, again, I'm going to emphasize. This is not me taking a leader of a country and downgrading them. This is not taking a leader of a country and making a statement for you to form an extreme opinion or for you to side with. This is just facts. And it's facts based on somebody doing something horrible. I began talking about what Putin was doing. I told everybody what he was doing. The news stories, again, the news stories just told everybody what he was doing, and I called it a tantrum. I said, Putin is having a tantrum. He's going to get what he wants, and he's going to do it in any way he can. I don't think his actions are called for. I don't think his actions are warranted. I think it's horrible what he's doing. It's the people of Ukraine that I'm worried about. There's pictures of children. There's pictures of adults and teenagers. There's pictures of the elderly. These people do not deserve to have what's happening to them. They've done nothing wrong. The government of Ukraine, in my eyes at least, my opinion, hasn't done anything wrong. Russia's government, Putin, has wanted to do this for a long time. In 1991 is when the United Soviet Socialist Republic, USSR, finally came to an end. Putin has more than once said that he wants the old Russia back. Well, this is a horrible way to do it. He did this once already to Georgia, the country of Georgia, during our Middle East conflicts, and it was very overlooked. It was not monitored, if you would, very well. And he didn't succeed. And he's not going to succeed this time either. He's getting himself in more trouble, okay, than he realizes. I think he knows he's a superpower. He knows he has money. The very rich man. He has money. He has assets. He may not look it. He may not act it. He may not tell anybody. But there's facts out there, and there's rumors out there, and there's a whole bunch of stuff stating so. And I believe the guy does have money. I believe that he has something. He has something to back him. Member of the FSK. He was a member of the KGB. He was a member of the leadership of Russia under Boris Yeltsin. The man has what he needs to rule. He has what he needs to do things that he wants to do. And this is what he wanted to do. He did this on his own. He came up with it. He wanted to do it. He has something in his mind that he wants to go back to the old ways of Russia. Okay, Russia has a deep culture. Russia has a deep history. Russia is a wonderful place. They have a wonderful country there. It's not bad, as in a historical, scientific endeavor, if you would. They have oil. They have natural gas. They have a lot of factories. They have a lot of things that a country needs to survive. Now, in this war, if this war escalates to a war, I'm calling it a war. It's right now a crisis. It's right now a conflict. No, it's a war. It's the beginning of a war. Okay? Period. I'm going to call it what it is. So, in a war, these resources of oil and natural gas and abilities to survive is great. On the other hand, he supplies Europe. He supplies the other countries of Poland and Germany and England, the British Isles, if you would, the United Kingdom, a lot of the Middle Eastern areas that buy from him also. So his country, Russia, is very good in business matters in the fuel industry. Okay? It's not something that he's hiding. We all know this, that his business skills are good. But with this, he can take away from these countries. He can take away from Europe, the United Kingdom. He can take away from the Middle East. He can take away from the rest of that area of Poland and other areas geographically, the section of the world there. He can control it. And that's another thing that this news stories are missing. This man not only wants to create a war, or is in the beginning stages of a war, but he has the backing to do it. He has the resources, money included, like I just said, to do what he wants to do. Now, this is where I normally would get pissed, and I would go off, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm talking very calmly. I'm talking so that you, the listener, can understand what this is all about, what more they're not telling you. Also, Russia, as a country, as a region, a geographic place on the map, is largely a lot of people who love their land. They call it Mother Russia. And the people of Russia, the Russians, the people living on this land are very patriotic in the fact that their country is what they love. Now, government and treatment and money issues and financial issues and horrible conditions of living issues, we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about somebody in Russia saying Russia is great. And it's just like the patriotism that we have here in the United States. So, in a way, the people really are there to back the country, to back the land, to back where they live and how they live. And the Ukrainians are as well, up in Poland and Georgia, in any place in Europe, any place in the United Kingdom. These people love the land and their history, and it's great. However, they may not like what he's doing. And my opinion is, with the videos of protest where these people are being hit, they're being thrown, they're being put in jail for stating an opinion. That's all they were doing, is stating an opinion that they don't think this is right either. It's the power that Putin has, in my eyes, is too much. A dictator, a leader, a advisor, a whatever you want to call him, a king, a person in charge, if you would, should not have that kind of power over the people, should not be doing this to people. And we could go into the history of the USSR and the horrible living conditions all we want, but today I'm not going to talk about it. Instead, we're going to stay on this little calm rant. Now, I mentioned the history of Putin. I've mentioned the USSR. Now we're going to speak about some business. Yes, business-wise. He doesn't need to go in and horribly take over a country, cause problems, cause death, cause injury, cause hardship. He doesn't need to be doing this. He doesn't need to do it. There's other ways to get your investments and your goods, if you will, natural gas, oil, craftsmanship, whatever it is that they have there. Oil and natural gas being something that is almost 80% of a commodity. United Kingdom and parts of Europe all rely on Russia for that natural gas. It is almost the second, and I say almost because there is other places like Alaska or other places like in Europe that could have oil fields under them. But from the Middle East, they are the second largest oil producer and third in natural gas. Now, I know America has it, but I'm against hydrofracking. I don't think what we do to the land is acceptable. I don't think what we do to the land is correct. The earth is a living thing, and we're destroying it. However, Russia thinks differently, and they have a wonderful natural gas production. So there's things that are good about Russia. Do not get this conversation, like I said earlier, that I'm horribly going after Russia. I'm not. In fact, I'm leaving the people out of this because of the videos and the stories I've heard. But as a leader, he should think this. You could easily look at somebody and say, I'm not supplying you with any of your natural gas. I'm not supplying you with your goods until we talk. Instead of horribly going after the people and destroying property and making people's lives miserable and sad and anger, it's not needed. I keep saying it's not needed because I want you to know that it's not needed. But there's other ways to do this. There's other ways to think over this. There's other ways to go about this. And he chose a horrible way. He chose, like I said earlier, form of a tantrum. I'm going to get what I want or else. And that's wrong. What we see here also is how Russia used to be, the United Soviet Socialist Republic, USSR. They ruled. The people were not happy. The government did what they wanted. World War I started with the USSR. We see other historical conflicts with the USSR. We see other historical bad atrocities towards human beings with the USSR. And it was a socialist government. And Stalin was a big leader there. Like I just said, it started with him wanting to conquer other countries. Now, I'm not going into history. Like I said very early on, I'm not going into the history. I'm talking a general fact here. And as we saw in a lot of other wars, Russia or the USSR has the capabilities to do it. And they have the capabilities to do what they want to. And they do what they want, for the most part. And like the UN and NATO, they don't want to see any nuclear conflicts. We're not going to go into the history of Russia, with its nuclear conflict and the Cold War and everything they've done with nuclear power, nuclear arms, as they call it, and with a nuclear war and the threat of a nuclear weapon being used, and I hate to say this, and I hate to even mention my words coming out of my mouth here, I'm hearing, but we are in conflict to head to a war. We could have a third world war. This is the ingredients. All we need is a little water, a bowl to mix it all into, and a spoon to mix it. We already have the spoon and the bowl. We've had that for a long time. Now we need water poured in there, and everybody's going to stir it all around, okay? That's what happens when a war happens, a world war. And we don't need that. We don't need it at all. We've already had two. We found out what happened to them. They didn't solve anything. They never solved a thing. Look at this war, well, the two world wars. They didn't solve anything. They didn't do anything. I mean, yes, they solved an immediate issue right there in front of them. Oh my Lord! Look at this. Look right there is a problem. Let's solve it. The rest of it never solved a thing. At least in my opinion. There's historians who said it did solve something. There's historians who say that we had a lot of things solved. I don't think we did. But if you look at Stalin, you look at Hitler, you look at these other Middle Eastern rulers, you look at the rulers of history that tried to start a socialist, communist, dictating type rulership, it was horrible. The result is horrible. I hope Putin is not headed towards that. I hope the people of Russia can have a peaceful country. I've known a lot of Russians in my life. I've had friends that were Russian. I believe I have a little Russian in my roots, in my history of my family. And these people were wonderful people. So let's, before we start yelling at the people who live on the land geographically called Russia, let's think of the ruler who made this decision. He made it. I don't know if he sat there with a group of people and decided it. I don't know if he had advisors. I don't know what happened. But he decided to do something. He did it, and it's absolutely horrible. Normally in Iran I'd yell and scream about it, but I'm talking calm because this needs to be talked calm. This needs to be something that's said calmly and with thought and with a mindset and with proper reasoning here. So, to finish up this little rant, so we can get to the rest of the program, which I don't think the program's going to do much because I haven't planned anything for the program. I didn't plan anything this week. I never planned anything for this week. I just didn't do it. I didn't do it because I knew this conflict, this crisis, this war we're having is going to take up the entire show. Now, I don't like talking about negative things. I don't like talking about the bad. I stayed away from COVID. I stayed away from all these natural disasters. I stayed away from all these political problems. However, this one is on a world scale. This one needs to be dealt with now. It's going to affect a lot of people. It's already affecting a lot of people. But it's going to affect more than just the people that live in that country. And I wish for you to pray for those people every night, whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Wiccan, a pagan, somebody that doesn't even believe in God. Do something, whatever your religion is. Mine's Christian, I pray, to make sure that they are cared for, that they get the help they need, that things can go back to normal quickly. Whatever it is that you do, I pray. So I'm saying I'm going to pray for them, and I want you to pray for them. But I realize there's a lot of other people out there who don't pray or don't believe the same belief I have. And there's not a time to fight about beliefs. It's not a time to say you're right and I'm wrong with our religious or belief systems. Whatever it is, make sure that a God, a power, a spell, a force, a magic, a discipline, or in my case, God, helps these people and looks after them so that their lives can go back to normal. And so it gets to, I don't know, all of what I just said is it's just horrible. And now I am going to look at the time, and yes, it is time for the second half of the program. I'm going to open up the second half of the program. And as I do this, I notice that my voice is good. We have a good reception. We have everything wonderful. And we have noticed as I go ahead and begin this system that there's already people in our YouNow chat room. There's already people in the iVlog chat room. There's already people in the Facebook chat room. And you can tune in every week. So all of my stuff is wonderful. All of my stuff is here. All of my stuff is working. So I don't know why the problems are that people stated last week. And I just skipped the break, by the way, because I'm just going to go into the second half and then take a, quick long break. Because, well, everything I just talked about is horrible. Everything I just talked about, the news and everything. We all see this thing happening. We see children and teenagers and adults all upset. So I don't know how it's going to go. I really don't. But opening up the chat rooms, we do this every week. We have a live session where you can watch me do the show live. And that's what we're going to do. I'm going to take a quick break. I know these chat rooms are up. I know people are waiting. But I have to do it because I have to go and get a drink. I have to stretch. I'm going to see one more update to see if anything has changed since, anything new has changed since I last looked at I've been testing the internet and the TV. So let's see if something's different. It's going to be quick. It's not going to be a long session-though break like I sometimes take. But it's going to be enough where we can basically manage and I can get myself together. Maybe get a drink over here, get that bottle of water again. Anyways, folks, if you're in the chat room that I'm staring at and you're listening to me, thank you for being here early. I appreciate it. Thank you for being ready. A lot of people like to wait. I open up the chat room about 7:30, and they start trickling in. So whatever you see me doing here is preparations. And a lot of people have asked for that. A lot of people said, I want to see what goes on. I want to see what you're doing. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break right now. And when we come back, we will start the second half of the program. I'll be right back.
You're listening to Brother Wade. My name is Zane. I'm with Food Safety, and you're listening to Brother Wade. Hey, this is Mr. Blas here. You're listening to Brother Wade. This is Arslan Kachadorian, Mr. Trumpet, the Professionals, and you're listening to the Brother Wade program.
Hey y'all, this is his fiance, and you are listening to Brother Wade.
I am the future. I provide for my family. I will use my education to help my community. I will inspire our next generation of leaders. I am a college student, but I am only 1%.
Only 1% of college students are American Indian. Donate now and help our numbers grow. Education is the answer.
Exciting. I love New York, and there's no place
Introducing the fast, efficient way to get it off your chest. It's the all-new Toot and Tell Drive-Through Confessional.
Hello, my child, and welcome to Toot and Tell.
If you've committed 10 sins or less, try our Sinners Express Lane. Or come inside and meditate at the shrine to Our Lady of the Lube Jar. It's all at the Toot and Tell Drive-Through Confessional. Stop by this week and get a free Toot and Tell or Go to Hell bumper sticker. Just look for the clown and the cleric's collar. Toot and Tell. Closed Sunday.
It's not about anything else.
Go to your room and lock the door, cause when you try it once, you want to try it some more. Size doesn't matter, and that's a fact. It might be small, but it's a big impact. Bust a nut, bust a nut. Grab a bag of corn nuts and bust a nut. They're lightly toasted and hard as well. Enjoy yourself, we won't tell. Everybody does it, they like it a lot. Just don't get caught. It takes a few minutes if you don't delay. Take your time, make it last all day. Bust a nut, bust a nut. Grab a bag of corn nuts and bust a nut. They're lightly toasted and hard as well. Enjoy yourself, we won't tell.
Corn Nuts, an intensely crunchy corn snack, comes in 7 nut-busting flavors. Bust a nut at a convenience store near you.
Some stations give you cars. Some stations give you cash. But not this station. Because this station is Bro. Flat dead busted. So this station is going to give you a cardboard box. Wear it on your head. Throw it out. Give it to someone else. It's your box and you can do anything you want with it. It's a 6-sided party. Just be the 10th caller. Keep listening to win.
Learn that when he pollutes the air and the water, he declares war against nature. American International Pictures presents Frogs, the story of the day nature strikes back. It was bound to happen, but why now? Why did these particular people on that particular island face this particular kind of slithering, slimy terror? See Frogs, starring Ray Milland, Sam Elliott, Joan Van Ark, Adam Rourke, and Judy Pace. Frogs, an American International picture, in color rated PG. Frogs, today the pond, tomorrow the world.
All right, folks, we're back. We're back from our break. We did take a little break. We did take a little time off, if you will. I got up and I got a drink and I got some information. There's nothing new going on. There's nothing over excessively deliberate with this. There's nothing going on that's formidably that we need to discuss. I've already discussed everything that's happening. The talks did not produce anything. Putin hasn't gotten anywhere further than when he was the other day, which is a little bit alarming, because I said 3 things in this. I said, 1, he's going to take his time. He's not a dumb person. He knows what he's doing. He's going to take his time, and he is. I said he was going to go after Chernobyl, and he did. I said that he was going to make this into a big fanfare and stretch it out as much as he can, and he has. Those 3 things that I predicted earlier in this week, made comments on my social media, my Facebook and Twitter and everything else. He did it. And a lot of people are sitting there going, oh my, why, what's going on? Oh my, I don't believe this. I don't believe something has happened. Oh dear, oh my. Drastic and all this other stuff. I, myself, personally believe right now he is meaning to cause more problems than he is. He wants something that we can't fathom. I'm not in his head. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. Whatever it is, he's trying to gain a lot of power. So if you're watching us now on the YouNow chat room, welcome. If you're watching us on Facebook, welcome. We have a new system on Facebook. I am here at my computer. I may not be able to see all the comments. I may not be able to see anything, but we have a new system up there. Our number is 607-238-3816 if you want to be a part of the program. Also, we have a website, www.brotherwade.com. We have our email, CWLAWRENCE01@gmail.com. Welcome our streaming rooms, iVlog TV, YouNow, and Facebook. Welcome to my Facebook audiences. And again, I said I'm doing it a little bit differently this week. I may not be able to see who you are, or wave, or answer much comments. And I didn't prepare for the show. Like I just said before we went to the break, I didn't prepare for the show because I didn't know what was going to happen. I could have come up here announcing that we're in war. I could have come up here announcing that nothing happened. I could have come up here announcing a lot of things. I didn't know what was going to happen. And I didn't plan for the show because I really didn't know what was going to transpire. I didn't know what was going to happen. And when you don't know what's going to happen, you can't plan for the best. You can't plan for a 2-hour program. So I didn't really do any planning. But I did, in the first half of the program, mention everything that is going on with Putin. I mentioned a little bit of history. I mentioned a little bit of some things that we need to do as human beings experiencing this, and what we need to do as far as people that are involved in this. Now, let me get this right. Let me get this straight here to you. Let me try to get it in your head again. I'm not sure that the Russian people are agreeing with this. There's a lot of videos that just came out just this morning of a protest and people being hurt, some other things being said. I sincerely believe that Putin either did this with like we have a group of people that decide stuff. He may not. The Russian government may be his decisions, or they have the decisions and they do what they want and they say what they want and they hear what they want and they manage it the way they do as the leader says it, they do it type thing. And I'm seriously thinking that this is his. And I called it a tantrum. And I called it a tantrum because of the simple fact that it's just like a little kid's tantrum. I want what I want. If I don't get what I want, I'm going to throw a fit. And throwing a fit when you're in politics and throwing a fit when you're in important positions is doing what he's doing. Now, the Ukraine used to be a part of the old United Soviet Socialist Republic, the USSR. He wants Russia, as I've stated before, but I'm reviewing this really quick for our chat room audiences. He wants Russia to be back to what it used to be. I don't think it's going to be back to what it used to be. Times have changed. We all want things the way that it used to be. We all want things differently. Times, again, have changed. And getting it this way, doing what he's doing what he wanted to do, doing what he thought was possible is wrong. Doing what how he wanted to do it is wrong. He did this totally wrong. And I don't want to go too much into negativity, but I'm going to bring you the news. I'm going to bring you the truth. I'm going to bring you some other points that we don't see in the news. And one of those big points are to the fact that Russian people don't have it very nicely. I'm going to say it that way. Russian people don't have what they want, so to speak, like we do here in America. There isn't much say in their world. However, the people, like I just got through explaining, love the land. They love their country. They are patriotic. They love their history and their culture. So we're seeing a mix of this right now. We're seeing a person trying to become a dictator and do what he wants to do along with possibly what might not be wanted by the rest of the people. And that's going to cause a serious problem. That is. It's going to cause a tremendous problem, a huge upset, if you will, for the goals of the leader. Because if his people don't like it, then, things might not go that well. However, the government is very... In Russia, you join the government, you are, benefits for life kind of job. You have a nice place to live. You have nice accommodations. Your family's taken care of. So they're going to do what they're told. They're going to do what they entered the military for. And it used to be that you entered the military for 2 years before you went out and got a job. A lot of countries are that way. You serve the country, and then you go and do what you want to do. And by serving the country, you get the benefits of serving the country. I wouldn't call Russia democratic like we are. I wouldn't call them, as I stated before, it's a country that has, Stalin started this in World War II and won. And the world wars were fought with, he actually was in World War I. And his reign lasted through the other world wars. And Stalin started, as I was just about going to say, he started another kind of rulership. He started different programs. I don't know if it's good, but if you lived in Russia at the time, some of the stuff that his ideas were, you thought it was okay. You thought it was right. World War I, they fought because he wanted more land. World War II, Germany and Russia fought because they wanted the same land. And then we come up to the point where we are now. He tried this with Georgia when we had the Middle East conflicts. He tried this several times to get back to countries that basically got independence, Ukraine being one of them, Georgia being another one. And he's kind of repeating history, but that's what he wants to do. I don't know if I want to continue to talk about a leader that I'm not too sure what's in his head. I wish I did know his plans. I wish they had more information about his plans, because his plans are not 100% accurate. His plans are not 100% beneficial. His plans are not 100% accurate to what's going on in the world. But that area of the world has always had their own agenda. And I already looking at the phones, and our phone line is lighting up. Caller, hello. Caller, are you there? Caller? Caller, okay. Do we have even a caller on the line? I don't even think we have a caller on the line. Caller, hello? Okay, we don't have a caller. Well, I don't know what's going on with that, because the caller is no longer there. I don't know what's happening with that. I just answered the phone and the caller wasn't there. But anyways, if you're there, call back. If you're there, please wait for us. Please wait on hold. You'll be put into a little call queue system, and we will call upon you when it is your turn. But I don't think nobody was there. Let's try it again. Caller, hello. Okay, no callers. No callers again. We're going to start this system where they call and hang up, or they do anything as I eat and start to eat my rich crackers today I have here, and I have some water. So what is going on in your world, folks? What's going on in my world hasn't much changed. The show has, we're getting some business cards out. We're trying to expand the show so that it goes to more people and more avenues of life, basically. And we get more people. You get more aspects of my show here. If you want to be a part of it, you can join my Facebook and tell me you're coming from one of these chat rooms. So let's go for the chat room. We have our normal people on our Facebook. We have Suzanne. We have Mike. Let's go to the YouNow chat room. who I know. We have Shannon, welcome to the program. We have Late Night Vibes, welcome to the program. We have Doug, welcome to the program. We have, I'm trying to follow this on my cell phone as well because our new system puts me in to the my software here, the OBS or whatever it is, and therefore I can monitor my system a little bit better than I could before. I don't know if it's going to be any better than it was. I don't know if it's going to be a lot better or if it's going to be worse. I don't know if it's going to have something that's managed by it and it's done a little bit better. I don't know. But I'm going to try to do the best I can. I'm going to try to get people up there and see if I can get this a little bit better system than we had last time. We got a lot of complaints from people telling me they couldn't hear it, a lot of people telling me they couldn't deal with it, they didn't know what to say, they didn't know what to do. But Frederick Joseph joins us, Angela Calapi joins us, Jennifer joins us, we have Jonathan in the YouNow chat rooms, and our good friend Shannon, I just mentioned her. And let's see if we do have the phone system on. We have a caller on the phone right now. Caller, welcome to the program.
Hello?
Hello, caller, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, hello. You sound like you're in a tunnel.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've got a question. So it's about the Putin stuff.
The Putin stuff. So what you're going to talk about is, I hope you're going to say something decent, and you're not going to make fun of anybody here. That's not my aim. Talking about the war is to make fun of people. So go ahead. What's up?
No. I'm not trying to make fun of the war. I don't know what you're talking about war though. All I heard was Putin, and I was like, I had to call. I was like, I'm Putin right now.
You're what?
I'm Putin right now.
You're Putin? I don't think you're a Russian dictator, buddy. I don't think you are.
No. I don't think you understand what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm Putin.
You're Putin. What are you talking about?
I'm taking a shit. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, you're taking a dump. Well, that's nice. What do you have to say other than that?
Nothing. I just wanted to let everybody know that I was Putin.
Okay, can you describe to us what you're doing? A play-by-play for us, please.
You want a play-by-play of what I'm doing right now?
Absolutely, sir. Why not? You called up here. You want to let us know you're going to the bathroom? Then give us a football play-by-play, sir.
Yeah. All right. So right now, it's a pretty heavy shit. So my head's between my knees because I have to take a deep breath because whoo-wee.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Can you do something? Can you do something while you're doing that?
What are you talking about?
All right, I want you to stand up. Can you stand up?
Yeah.
Okay. I want you to stand up and see if you can shit standing up. 40% of them. Only 40% of Americans can shit standing up. Let's see if you can do it. Live on. Okay, I'm being live on the program. I want to see what you can do. Stand up and do it.
I'm doing it right now as we speak. Right now.
Okay.
Yep. Is that all?
All right. Now, what I want... Are you there still?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to jump around the room like a bunny while you're sitting.
All right.
Don't slip and fall in any of it. Just jump around the room like a bunny.
All right.
I don't hear you jumping around.
Oh, I'm jumping around. I might be about swim, but this part of the seat, so I gotta flush this on the toilet. But
All right, what I want you to do is I want you to open the door and walk out to your family with your pants around your ankles, and I want you to tell everybody, I love America. Come on, buddy. You're the one that called into the program, and you told me you're up for this. Let's go. Come on, buddy.
Are you happy? Are you happy?
I think it's hilarious, man. You're on a national program, and you're
Hell
doing
yeah.
this.
Hell yeah.
Now I want you to do a somersault. I want you to do a somersault.
Oh my God! You don't know how to. I got myself a tattoo on my butt cheek. It says "Mom," and when I do a somersault, it says "Wow, Mom, wow."
Well, I want you to do a somersault. Do a somersault.
I just did.
All right, buddy. All right. Well, thanks for calling.
Oh, you're very welcome.
I don't know what the heck that guy's all about, but you want to call in the program while you're in the bathroom. You're going to be doing stunts. I don't know who that is. I don't know what his problem is. I don't know what he's doing, but that was pretty amazing. I don't know how you can do somersaults while you're going to the bathroom. He said he was taking a crap or something, and I said, do a somersault. And he said he did it. All right. Let's all give him a nice warm round of applause. Let's give him a nice clap. Let's clap for the guy. Come on, everybody. Give him a nice round of applause. I don't know that guy's name, but I think that's the guy that called in the other day trying to stick his head in a bowl of chili. I don't know, but anyways, hopefully, this chili guy will continue to call because that was pretty cool. And if you're going to call in and you're going to be funny and you're going to be silly on this program, then we will make you do stuff. I can't be pranked. I am prank-proof. Let's welcome John to the chat room. And if you're listening to us live on the YouTube archive section, we have a live chat room where we go up and we do the chat room live. And we do this chat room live. We do it every week. We try to get ourselves out there. You can join us, www.brotherwade.com. You can write to me, cwlawrence01@gmail.com. You can join us on our Facebook. Join us on YouNow, our iVlog, and we're even up on Pirate Radio. Folks, that was an interesting phone call. So back to what I was saying is that the people of Russia do not deserve what Putin is doing. Now, there might be some Russians out there. You might be saying, wait a minute. You're saying these people don't like it, and they do. They support the channel. They support their leader. Well, that's fine. They may support their leader, and I'm not saying anything wrong about supporting their leader. I'm almost neutral into this, okay? But the people, the children, the elderly, the teenagers that you see on TV, that's the ones that I feel sorry for. Their lives are upside down because two rulers want to do crazy stuff. They want to act funny. They want to do stuff that's wrong. They want to do stuff that's dumb. They want to continue to act this way. They want to continue to cause problems. And it's not fair to the people of the Ukraine. We have another phone call, folks. Let's see if we can take this caller. Caller, welcome to the program. Caller, hello. Caller, you're on the air. Yeah, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah, this is Sam.
What's your name?
Sam.
Sam?
Yeah, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing great. That was pretty cool. That guy doing a somersault while he's taking a Putin.
Yeah. That's what you get if you want to come up here and act funny.
Man, is your fiance listening to this tonight?
I hope she is somewhere.
Well, if she is, you tell her Sam said hi. I know Mary really, really well.
Okay. How well do
Yeah,
you know her? How well do you know
Well,
her?
I know her and her 3 kids real well.
Okay.
Yeah, really good friends of mine.
Okay.
Yeah, I think her real name is like Mary Ruiz.
I'm not going to go into my personal family's names.
Yeah. Well, she's really nice. She's really nice. You and her will make a really good couple.
Okay. Thank you for saying. Do you have anything to say about this war, or do you have a stupid stunt you want to do while you're in the bathroom?
Oh, no, I'm not in the bathroom. I'm actually outside working on the truck. I was actually going to call and see if sometime you might want to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons, I do. And if you look behind me, are you watching the program live on the program at all?
A little bit. I know something about, you said something you was going to talk about the war tonight, but it's hard to get a hold of you sometimes, and I've been wanting to play some Dungeons and Dragons. I just haven't had a chance to give you a call.
Yeah, if you look behind me on that shelf right there, I have every edition from first edition to fifth edition.
Oh, my God. That almost gave me a hard-on. Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. What?
Oh, nothing. I just love Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay. How long have you been playing Dungeons and Dragons for?
Oh, my God. Probably 20-plus years.
20-plus years? Well, I got you started. I started when I was 10 years old, 30-plus.
Oh, damn. Well, we're going to have to get together, man.
What other systems do you play?
So what do you think of this war? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think the United States is going to get involved and we're going to have some troops over there? It's going to get nasty, or?
I think we're already involved.
You think it's going to get really nasty, like we're going to have bomb shelters and shit, or?
Well, I don't think it's going to go that extreme, but I will tell you this much right now. If he's got nuclear weapons, which I've stated before, he said he has put everything on alert, that means we're almost in the same area as the Cold War. Now, do you remember the Cold War?
Oh, yeah.
Because I vaguely remember it because I was a child, but I remember the Cold War. I remember some of it, at least in school, hearing about it. And when I was in school, weapons and all that stuff, countries were searched and countries had to identify nuclear arms. And Russia was the biggest, leader or culprit of having these arms. And as we go to the arms and stuff of the nuclear wars, we go into nuclear power, we go into nuclear stuff, and we go into the what I call the fun stuff. And I don't mean fun as in the war stuff or the horrible stuff. I meant the fun stuff as in if you're into science and you're into all of this other stuff, like I can be into. The science of nuclear energy. I support nuclear energy. I support it as a energy source for us, a better, cleaner, a better, less costing energy source for the people. Natural gas and all those cause problems, but their problems are a lot more than nuclear problems would be. Most of the nuclear problem is that it's making of the energy more so than it is down the line. In other words, a natural gas, if you put it in your house and something happens, you have an extreme emergency, the entire neighborhood. Of nuclear gas leak, a nuclear gas fire, a gas stuff. Nuclear gas and nuclear power is going to stay at the plant. Nuclear gas and nuclear power is that. Now, what I mean by gas is gas versus nuclear. The nuclear, the rods or whatever they use, stays at the plant. They don't go to you. The power goes to you. And when we talk about natural gas, we're talking about a source, a dangerous source, being pumped into your home. And then if something goes wrong, you have an emergency on your hands. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Taking off my headphones, if anybody's wondering, and they keep asking me why I do it. I don't like hearing myself talk. I can hear myself talk anyways. I don't need headphones to do it. But anyways, you have this a natural gas problem. With nuclear burst gas, you don't have the issue. Now, the problem with nuclear is, as we saw on 3 Mile Island, we saw in Chernobyl, we've seen in China, we've seen in other places have had that have nuclear power plants have had problems. They've had miscellaneous accidents. They've had miscellaneous issues, if you will, and we're never told about it. With the natural gas, with the gas that's in our homes, there's the problems all over the place. The fire department gets involved. The police get involved. Sometimes you have to evacuate the home. Sometimes you have people getting sick from poisoning. You don't have that with the nuclear energy source. So, with that being said, I support it. However, if you're going to take that and you're going to make a weapon out of it, I don't support it. I don't support you making a weapon out of anything. Unless you're going to defend your home or something, and you take maybe you sharpen a rock into a spear or something, making like a makeshift knife or something. But that's a whole nother story. Okay, that's a whole nother topic. But when he wants to do nuclear arms or nuclear weapons, we're not talking just nuclear bombs. We're not talking about nuclear missiles. We're talking about actually wanting to do another atom bomb, do another tragedy on another country. He put them all on alert. He's got submarines. He's got everything with these nuclear arms, and he's not afraid to use them. That could harm the rest of the world. So his conflict or his issue or his tantrum, as I called it, with Ukraine is now a world problem, is now a problem that the world has to face, is now a problem that the world now has to deal with. And that's not fair. If they would just keep it in their little region, if you're looking at the map and you're seeing Ukraine and Russia, and you drew a circle around the Russian border in Ukraine, and they just kept it there, then that's fine. But when you get into nuclear arsenal, you get into nuclear weapons, you get into nuclear problems, you get into nuclear issues, you're going to have a world problem. You're going to have a problem that's the world is facing. And we don't need that right now. The world is already facing COVID. We just got done with COVID. We're just getting mask restricted. We're just getting mask done. We're just getting mask out of our school systems. We're just getting some of these things out of our lives and trying to redo our lives, trying to redo the way we think things and redo the way we live. And here now a threat of nuclear armaments, nuclear weapon use is facing us. We have another phone call. Caller, are you there? Hello? Hello? Caller? Okay, you keep hanging up. This is the second time you hung up. Whoever keeps calling, when I say your name, or when I say who you are, or I say I have a caller, or any of this stuff, sometimes we'll have a call screener, or whatever, why don't you get up here? Why don't you do something to speak into the phone? You've been on hold now for probably 10 minutes. I get on the phone and you're gone. If you can't wait 5 to 10 minutes to speak to somebody, then don't even bother. Okay, that's ridiculous that you can't wait your turn. Are you one of these people that sit in Wegmans or Price Choppers or Walmarts or the other chain stores we have here, and you refuse to wait in line, you refuse to do something, you refuse to wait your turn for somebody else? Are you that impatient? Are you that ill-mannered that you have to have somebody wait on you immediately? That you have to put yourself in a thing where you can't wait a minute? I don't know. I just don't know. Now, I noticed somebody just complained up on the Facebook, and I'm trying to get over to Facebook as quick as I can to figure out what this is, and I can't do it, that my words are being said in front of them. My words are being said out on a screen so people can read it. I don't know. I don't know if this is true or not, but if it is, I don't know why that is. I never set that up. I never set it up anything for people to read my words. I want them to hear my voice. I don't want them to read my words. I mean, if you're hearing impaired or something and you need to do that, then I guess that's okay. And somebody responded to me that I smoke. Yes, I smoke. I've smoked for a long time. I smoked since high school off and on. I've quit. And then something comes up and I went back to it. I went back to smoking after my mom passed away. My mom passed away about 3 years ago, and I went back to smoking. I normally would have a cigar. I ran out of cigars. Anybody want to volunteer to get me some cigars? You want to do a cigar run? You can run down to Pennsylvania and get some cigars. You can send me it over the internet. You can sponsor my show by sponsoring me with cigars. Then don't worry about it. If you can't sponsor me and you don't want to sponsor my cigars and my smoking habit, then don't worry about it. Because I don't know. I don't like the nasty comment that you smoke, you're going to die. I'm not going to die from smoking. You don't die from smoking. Nobody has ever put a cigarette, a cigar, or a pipe in their mouth and died from it. You die from your body reacting to it and catching cancer or something else goes wrong, heart disease or something, and that's how you die. You don't die from the smoking. And I've always said that you don't, your body doesn't expire from the smoking part of it. The smoking may cause more damage to your body. It may cause more symptoms. It may cause more problems. It may cause issues, but it's not going to cause you to die. That's wrong. And our email, let's do some promotion. Our email is cwlawrence01@gmail.com. Here, CWLAWRENCE01@gmail.com. Our website is www.brotherwade.com. Our phone number is 607-238-3816. We've had 2 callers call in. Some guy identifying himself as Sam knows my fiance. I'm not sure how he knows my fiance. I'm not sure he knows what's going on with our relationship. I'm not sure he knows anything, but he said he knew her, and he knew her really well. Okay, that's kind of weird. That's kind of off the cuff. You really knowing my fiance makes me wonder. Makes me wonder what's going on out there, folks. Let's say hi to Frederick. Let's say hi to Suzanne. We have a Jennifer in our chat rooms. The other side, we have a Snake Eye, and we have Vibes in our chat room. Welcome to the chat room. We have other people in the chat room right now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to go to the chat rooms, and I'm going to talk to people, and I'm going to say hi to people, and I'm going to interact with people. If you want to be mentioned on the program, if you want me mentioning your name in the chat rooms, you have to be a routine every week visitor, and once you become an every week visitor, I will mention your name in the show. I will tell everybody who you are and give you a great big thank you. So if you want to keep coming to the show and keep being a listener and keep being somebody that's involved with our program, you can do that. Folks, really quick again, CWLAW01@gmail.com is my email. www.brotherwade.com is my website. 607-238-3816 is my phone number. I have to go on another quick break. During the break, I'm going to talk to my chat room audience. I'm going to look at the news one more time and see if there's anything I can bring you that's up to date, that's a little different than what last time I looked at it. Folks, we'll be right back right after this.
It's Tyrone, and I always tune in to Brother Wade.
This is Vader. And you're listening to the Brother Wade program.
You're listening to Brother Wade. My name is Zane. I'm with Food Safety, and you're listening to Brother Wade.
Hey, this is Mr. Blige here. You're listening to Brother Wade. This is Arslan Kachadorian, Mr. Trumpet, the Professionals, and you're listening to the Brother Wade program.
Hey y'all, this is his fiance, and you are listening to Brother Wade.
If I stay on the res, I'll be 8 times less likely to drop out of college.
If I stay on the res,
I won't be just another number.
I can learn biology in my native language.
I can use my education to help my people.
If I stay on the res,
I'll be more likely to transfer to a university.
6 times more likely if I stay on the res.
There's a 9 in 10 chance I'll finish college.
and I will finish college.
I will learn about the old ways so my culture will live on.
I will make my parents proud.
I'll make my people proud.
Our history will not be forgotten.
If I stay on the res.
I can get a quality education.
At a tribal college. At a tribal college.
If I stay on the res.
If I stay on the res.
If I stay on the res.
Learn more about the 33 tribal colleges and how they're helping Native American people and their reservations. The American Indian College Fund, educating the mind and spirit.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in physics, I learned that I'm a loser.
Today in school, I learned that I'm ugly and useless. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. In history, I learned that I'm trash.
Today in school, I learned that I have no friends. In English, I learned that I make people sick. And at lunch, I learned that I sit on my own because I smell. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me.
In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid. And in math, I learned that I'm trash.
The only thing I didn't learn in school today?
The only thing I didn't learn today.
The only thing I didn't learn is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
Place
air and the water, he declares war against nature. American International Pictures presents Frogs, the story of the day nature strikes back. It was bound to happen, but why now? Why did these particular people on that particular island face this particular kind of slithering, slimy terror? See Frogs, starring Ray Milland, Sam Elliott, Joan Van Ark, Adam Rourke, and Judy Pace. Frogs, an American International picture, in color, rated PG. Frogs, today the pond, tomorrow the world.
All right, folks, coming off the break, just ran up on the internet and got up on some news and stuff and looked it up. Nothing is happening significant in the conflict, crisis, the war, the issue, the problem with Russia and the Ukraine. Nothing is coming up here, anything new. So I don't have anything new to report to you. However, on the break, I realized that the caller Sam called in. Both callers said they knew my fiancée. Well, my fiancée has lived in my area for 20 plus years, so they probably do know her, and I don't know them. So let's get this clear that if she has a lot of friends, she's been here a long time. So hopefully that'll clear that up. And what I meant by they don't know anything, and I don't know who that was, is I personally do not know who that person was. They said they knew me and knew us as a couple. I personally don't. Maybe my fiancée will know who it is. I'll probably be asking her about the person later and seeing if they know who they are. If you do know us and you do want to say hi to her, that's fine. I like keeping our relationship issues to ourselves. I don't like bragging or talking about stuff. We may be doing that later on down the road when we are more comfortable with some of the things that are in our lives as together. But for the most part, I like to keep my personal life personal. I like to have my personal life not all over the place. I don't post much on Facebook. I don't post much on other social media like Twitter or YouTube. And I like it that way because it's kind of like the little safe shell I have. But that's just me. Now, she's very open. She's very friendly. She's very talkative and has friends. And we have gone and seen friends and had wonderful dinners at people's houses. And it's all new to me. So it's going to be a new journey for me. Just like having this program is kind of a new journey today because I keep going up and down on the internet looking for stuff. The break took a little longer than normal because I wanted to make sure that there's nothing new to report to you. I want to make sure that we are doing good, that we are having something going on that's okay with what's going on, but there's nothing new to report. Now, somebody said their name, Sam. I'm not sure. I know two people by the name of Sam. Now that it's kind of in my head and fresh, but I don't think that was either one of them. But anyways, who knows? But he was asking me about the conflict. And no, there's nothing new happening. And this is kind of alarming. What Sam asked about, that it's stuff happening. There's nothing new happening, so there's nothing to report. There's nothing to say. There's nothing to talk about. I don't know. Our time zone is about 6 hours and 20 minutes difference between the Ukraine and us. It's about maybe 6.5 hour difference in Russia. So whatever's happening now, I would think this would be their late night, is going to be told to me today. Like all of our news programs in the first half of the program was from news this week, what's happening this week. So next week, I can come up to you and report to you. I can come up here and tell you different stuff. I can come up here and say different stuff. I can come up here and talk about different stuff. I can come up here and go into a lot of details. I can go up here and tell you a lot of truth and a lot of things that are happening and a lot of things that went on and a lot of stuff about this nuclear armament and this nuclear whatever he has plans with this nuclear alert. That's what I don't like about this. That's what I don't like about the story. That's what I don't like about having the story. That's what I don't like about seeing this stuff as this nuclear armaments here. And a lot of the nuclear, what do you call it, alert or the nuclear weapons and nuclear threats, I don't even know if he's going to take part in that 100%. I don't know if he's going to try to do it really, really fast. I don't know if he's going to try to do it or if he's just saying it and everybody's on alert. A lot of times during the war or during an issue or conflict or crisis, as they're calling this, things are said. They do put stuff on alert. I'm sure America, the United States, is on alert. I'm sure our allies are on alert. NATO, the UN forces were all on alert, and these alerts are different. But to say that, that I was reading this article just now that had some details on that. Basically, he has made sure that his nuclear weapons and his systems, the nuclear systems, they're composed of weapons and possibly the sending off of missiles and submarines and ships and all this other detail stuff. It is there. It has it. It wants to do it. That's what it is. And by doing this, and by having it, and by reflecting it, it means that it is doing that. Now, personally, I don't think what's happening is that problematic. I don't think right away we need to jump up and down, and I don't think we need to get ourselves in a loop. I don't think we need to get ourselves in a worry. I don't think we need to get ourselves in a predicament. I don't think we need to get mad and frustrated. I think we need to just calm down and wait. Calm down and see what happens. I'm more focused on the fact that there's families, there's women, there's children, teenagers, elderly that have been affected by what he's already done. And he's got ground forces that can do harm right now to the people of the Ukraine. And that's what is bad. That's what's wrong. That's what's something is going on. That's what he's focusing on. And when he focuses on it, and when he gets to it, and when he wants it, and when he has to do it, and when he deploys this stuff, and he throws that stuff out there, and he wants to do it, wants to have his way, it's wrong and terrible. But right now, the ground forces are more of a worry than missiles. We have programs that'll cite the that can detect a launch of a nuclear missile. We have computers and systems that are in place that can do this. To recognize if something is launched, if something is propelled, if something is put into the air, if something is done on a nuclear threat level. I don't think it's a threat. As we call a threat, an alert is to them. An alert is saying, get ready, have something in place. A threat is he's done it, he's got it, and he's going to use it. To me, all of it's a threat. All of it's an alert. All of it is a big problem, and we need to act on it now, but that's not how the government works. They don't jump up and down. Oh, my God, we need to get down and we need to do this. Oh, God, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? It's not the issue to them. It's not a problem. It's not something that's out there. It's not something that's bombarded with problems. It's just not. And what we need to do is we need to sit here and we need to focus and we need to be calm. I know it's kind of hard to do with seeing all the problems that are happening, but I know that we can do it. I know that it can be done. I know that they know what they're doing. The people in power, the people that make these decisions, the military leaders, the government government officials, the government advisors, the UN's officials, the UN advisors, the NATO's team, they all know what they're doing. And I know that they, no matter how much I'm sitting here saying this has got to be done or this and that, and I've been right on everything I've said so far, but they don't care. They don't care about me. I'm a little guy. I'm a little man. I don't even exist to these people. Okay? You got to understand that. I probably do now because I'm talking about it, but I didn't before. And you got to understand that these people are ready. They're willing. They're going to act on whatever they need to act on. They're going to try to commence in a system that they know it's going to work, and they're going to rely on the rules that they have to follow. They have rules. They have international rules. They have all kinds of rules they got to follow, and they have all kinds of international procedures and everything. It's supposed to be done in laws that are in place, that are agreed upon. And so it's a big, big thing. It's not just something that can happen. Now, he could do it. He could do whatever he wants, obviously. He's doing what he wants. But there's things in place to make sure that he doesn't, have a free-for-all, if you will. And there's things in place to make sure that he is doing what he's supposed to be doing as a leader. And right now, Russia, I don't know if Russia is responding. I don't know. The videos that I saw of the people protesting and not liking it and being put in jail, that's not right either. To us, it's not right. To people there, and these people that think that freedom shouldn't be there and want to take over and rule and change the way things are and not give people human rights, that's the way it's done. I hope it's not due to that as I eat a cracker here. I hope it's not that. I hope it's not something that's going to lead to a problem. I hope it's not something that's going to lead to an issue like that. And as I said before, it should not. But I don't know what to do, what to have, what to, more than I'm doing right now, more than I'm talking about it. I'm talking about it, and I'm trying to get information for you as it comes in. Getting information as it, hopefully, we will move forward. Hopefully, we will have a better response with what he's doing. We'll have a better understanding. We'll have a better way to cope with it. Hopefully, these people will be helped. They've gone over to Poland. Poland's a country that has agreed to help them. They're right on the borders, and that's wonderful. We just need to see how it unfolds. We need to see how it gets itself to the next part that it needs to get to. And it's getting there. Now, if anything happens during this program, I'll let you know, but nothing is. I have 2 pages up here of news that I've gone through on 1, 2, 3, 4. I've gone through 8 different news articles and 3 pieces of paper here of the local paper that through this week to find out anything different that I missed. And nothing have I missed. I've covered it all. I've talked about it all. I gave you a little bit of it in the first half of the program. We started off with the news. We started off with what was happening. We started off with telling you that things are not going well and that things are not acting as they wish, and that things are not that good, I don't think there's anything more I can say. I don't think there's anything more I can do. I'm helpless. You're helpless. You might not be helpless. You might be a military personnel member. You might be a member of our military, and you could give me better guidance. During this week, send me an email, cwlawrence01@gmail.com, and let me know what your side of this is. If you are from one of those countries, or you know more than I know, and a little bit more than the news knows, or what's being reported, let me know. Because next week I'll have a whole new report for you. I'll have a new thing to say. I'll have new things to report. I'll have new things to go by. I'll have new things to work with. And we will have new things for you up here on the program. Now, that's what we're here for. We're here to give you news. We're here to give you what it needs to have accomplished. Now, to our You Now audience that's still out there, thank you for being here. Remember, if you want to be mentioned on the program and you are listening to us or watching us or taking part in the program through one of our live streams, then be here every week. I'll start to recognize you and get to know you and friend us, and I will be able to say your name on here. But right now our rooms are full. Right now we have a good view of standings. I haven't looked at the standings. I'll look at the standings maybe once a month, twice a month, and see where I stand with listeners and followers and people taking part of the story and everything that's going on. I don't seem to follow that. I don't seem to... I care, don't get me wrong, but it's not a priority to be the very best that's out there. There's a lot of us good shows that are out there. There's a lot of us podcasters that are wonderful. But I would like my show to be number one. I would like to have a great program every Monday. Monday is the date that I love doing the show on. I've done it for years on Monday. And I've tried to bring you a program. I've tried to bring you something that's good. We're winding down almost to the third half of the program. We're winding down to the it's happening down now. Some people in the You Now chat room have said that there's more to this conflict. He said he's going to email me on it. Email me on it and let me know what you mean by more in the conflict, because I would love to have the information. I would love to be able to bring you, my audience, the Facebook audience, the YouTube audience, the iVlog TV audience, the Twitter audience, more details about what's happening. Now, I don't think there's any conspiracies going on. I did at first. I thought maybe the news organizations are going to report what they want to report and say what they want to say on whatever, story they can drive on. But I noticed they haven't done that. And it's wonderful they haven't done that. Fox News and the other ones. And I listen to a lot of ABC and NBC. I listen to a lot of the European news. Several of my pages in front of me are European-type news organizations. They're reporting things different, not differently, but in a different way than us United States organizations are. A lot of them are reporting that Putin has these armies closer, and that they've actually engaged in full fighting. I mentioned that earlier, that the Ukraine army and their military personnel, I don't know if they have Marines like we do, or the ground specialists. I'm sure they have just like we do, but I'm calling them the Army. I'm calling them Special Forces. They have engaged in serious firefighting with Russia. They have destroyed tanks. They have destroyed vehicles. There's a bridge that showed a road blocked off with a truck. There's tanks that are on fire in different neighborhoods. One of the neighborhoods they were trying to evacuate the people out of is the burning tanks in the middle of the road. So it shows a different side of this. Now that just came out today. Some of the videos that I saw earlier in the week or earlier in what's going on from the European networks, now are being shown today to us. So I go all over the place, just like I do to find my news. I don't follow the 4 or 5 or 6 head news companies we have in the United States. I jump around. I try to look at here. I try to look there. I even try to go to news organizations that are smaller. Maybe get some news organizations in a different language, and it comes up English and subtitles at the bottom of it. The Russian news channel has some stuff on there. There was some stuff in a German news briefing like in German, but they have the subtitles come up in the English language, and they were talking about it. But they're all saying basically the same thing, that Putin, except for the Russian one, that was showing Putin in meetings. He was talking to different people. He was saying that basically what he was doing is saying that he's gonna do it, and basically saying and questioning why these people, whatever they were discussing, he's questioning them, and then it went on for him to go ahead and do the orders. But it was very interesting. And I find it very interesting. I find it interesting how the politics of all this works. And the politics sometimes is sometimes not that good. Sometimes it's good, but what makes me make decisions on what I want to say and how I want to say it. Showing the demonstrators of this protest, 2 of them, or it looked like there were 2 of them, and the Russian military and police, it looked like they were, security almost, came in and broke it up and took them away. Well, why would they do that? Why would Russia, if it's a democratic nation, if it's a country of peace and love and prosperity, and things are getting better over there, why would they try to incarcerate and imprison their own country, their own citizens, for disagreeing with something? Why? Because it might be a little bit more than they're telling us. The United Soviet Socialist Republic, the USSR, is they were like that. And if Putin wants to go back to the old ways of Russia and redo Russia and go back to what maybe he liked or maybe he enjoyed being a part of, then there might be a lot of this. There might be more of it than we know about. I'm not getting political. I'm not getting into, issues of human rights here, but I disagree with that. If they're protesting and they're they didn't look like they were disrupting the peace. They didn't look like they were doing anything completely wrong. They didn't look like they were doing stuff to harm other people. If they are, and then we solve it. But they're not, then let them be. But that's the way we think. That's the way the United States thinks. That's the way my country, where I live, the USA, the United States of America, think. Other countries don't think this way, and you have to get your mind out of how we think and kind of think about what they are. Now, the Ukraine is peaceful. The Ukraine, to my knowledge, is a democratic-like state, and what he's doing is absolutely wrong to them. And I keep saying it's terrible because it is terrible. And so far, what's being reported is that people are homeless. People are leaving because they're fleeing out of fear. So you're imposing fear on people. There's a tank crushing an old lady's car. There was a tank driving into a crowd of people trying to hurt them. These things are not, not right to do. And Putin said that this is not a citizens' issue. In other words, he's not going after the citizens. He's not going after people. He's going after the government. Well, then why are your tanks trying to run over people? Why are tanks in the neighborhoods that showed 2 buildings on fire and a tank on fire in the middle of the road and everybody trying to get out of there and the military helping to evacuate. Well, why did you send your tanks down the middle of a neighborhood then? If you said it was a conflict with the government and you have an issue and a problem with their government and their leaders and you want the country to be yours, why are you going after the people that you want eventually to be a part of you? You want those people to respect you as a leader, but yet you're going to destroy them and make them lose their homes and make them lose their families and their friends. That's no way to do it. That's absolutely no way to win friends here, if that's what he wants to do. But maybe he doesn't want to do it. Maybe he's hiding his motives. I don't know. And I'm not going to go and speculate all that stuff either because I don't know. I don't know. My problem right now is the people that have lost family and friends, the people that have lost property, the children, the teenagers, the families that were all these families were in the building. You saw the little kids running around and stuff. These kids don't need to know this. These kids don't need to see this. These kids will always remember Russia as somebody that made me lose my home. That's not a way for a child to live and feel and have feelings about another human being. But that's what he's doing. That's what he's causing. He's causing fear. He's causing resentment. He's causing sadness and anger, like I said earlier. I don't get it, but it's more of a politics. But the meetings with the Ukraine, I wish they would say what they're trying to meet with. They want a ceasefire. Well, how about a you go home issue? How about they turn the tanks around, they turn their men around, and he goes right back home to Russia. Take your stuff and get out of our country. We don't want to be a part of this. We don't want to be a part of your war or your chaos, and that's what it is. That's the word I've been looking for to say is chaos. He's causing chaos. He's causing extreme chaos. And like I said, the word is terrible. And but that's what he wants to do. He wants to do this. I have one of those gut feelings that he chose to do this. He has alternative motives. He wants to. I don't know. Maybe he does want to start a world issue. I don't know. But for the most part, Russia did have. I guess Ukraine was a part of Russia. And like I said numerous times, he stated he wants it back to the way it was. He's wanted it that way for a long time. He served under Boris Yeltsin, who was a United Soviet Socialist Republic, a USSR leader, and one of their contributors in Moscow. And Moscow was the head of everything, the Kremlin, and all of this stuff. If you remember these times, in 1991, that's not 20 years ago. That's a little over 20 years ago, 30 years ago, is when it folded. In 1992, it was finally gone. So they've only had 30 years of peace, only 30 years of non-turmoil. For some, that's a lifetime. For these soldiers, some of these soldiers look like they were in their teens. That might be their entire life they've been free. And they want to keep it that way. They're fighting just like America fights for our freedom. They're fighting for their rights. They're fighting for their peace of mind. They're fighting for a way of life that everybody wants to have. And for the most part, sometimes I think Americans have taken advantage of it. They've taken advantage of it. They've taken advantage of, the way we live. People have for years taken advantage of the way we live or what we're doing and the way we have things here. And this shows what I'm not going to say a bad leader, but a leader with bad intentions or bad thoughts or different ideas or a mind of his own can have. I don't know if the guy's a bad guy. I don't know if he's horrible. I know his history. I know he was a KGB, KS, whatever they call it now, leader. I know he was under Boris Yeltsin, and I know that he's worked his way right up to leadership of the country, and he likes it that way. He likes where he is. And that's fine. And that's fine as a man that's worked your way up and done the work and done wonderfully by following orders and got yourself to a part where you want to be. He met his dream of leadership, I guess you would say. But other than that, based on his actions this week and based as actions all month long, he's not on a lot of people's good list right now. He's not seeing in favor. And if I was him, I certainly, like I just said, would not go into a country, destroy the country, kill the people, hurt the people, ruin their families, ruin their friends, ruin their lives, create chaos, do terrible things, and then expect them to want to be loyal to you. That's not what you do. That's not how to go about doing it. It's not how to go about wonderfully doing, gaining the people to be on your side. Let's have in the room, we have Steve Turner is joining us in our YouNow chat room. We have Angela has come in now. Again, to our Facebook, some people have said they're trying to call. The phones are not lighting up, so if you're trying to call, the number is 607-238-3816. Our email, cwlawrence01@gmail.com. My website, www.brotherwade.com. If you're trying to call in, try to call again. If you get through, it'll be choice number 1 when you finally get into the system there, and then you'll be put into a call queue or a call, like a little waiting room, and then it will light up, and I'll answer the calls as they're received. If you have called in or you're trying to call in again and I didn't answer you right away, please make sure that you call again. Please make sure that you do it again, because we want to have get to your calls. I have been speaking. For you, the new people that just come in, there's probably about 5 new people that have come in, and iVlog chat room now has a few more people in it. I've been talking about the war, or what I'm calling a war. I've called it the whole program a war. The crisis, the issue, the problem, the situation, if you will, in Russia, and the situation in the Ukraine, and now the situation in Poland. We've been talking about these things, and I have not said anything bad about any leaders. I have not said anything bad about any of the choices. I know there is some things I could be saying, but I'm not going to say them. Personal opinions and stuff, but this is no time for a personal opinion. This is a time that, like I said earlier in my program, I think we should all pray, or whatever you do. If you're not a Christian and you believe in something different than I believe, which is okay, you can do that, then whatever you believe, I believe that you should do it for the people in Ukraine, the children, the teenagers, the adults, the people who have lost their families and lost their friends, praying for them, helping them, making sure that they're doing well, that God will look over them and help them get a new place and help them recover and not have this trauma anymore. That's what we need to do. We need to focus on praying for the Ukraine, praying for the people, praying for their safety, praying that nothing more happens, praying for Russia, if you will. A big prayer out to Russia that he will stop what he's doing and come to the realization that hurting other people is not going to gain him followers. It's not going to gain him people to like him. It's not going to gain people to trust him. It's not going to gain anybody to be on his side, that's for sure. We're coming up on another break. We're also coming up to the end of our program. Our program normally lasts about up to 2 hours. We have been here for about an hour and a half now, and a little bit more, talking with our Facebook audience, our YouNow audience, Again, my phone number is 607-238-3816. My email is cwlawrence01@gmail.com. My website, www.brotherwade.com. Now, really quickly, before we go to this break, really quickly, if you are a musician, if you are a singer, songwriter, writer, author, psychic, medium, a mystic, if you are an entertainer, if you are a person with a good story to tell, a talent, and you want to be a part of this program, we would love to have you as a guest. We invite you to give me an email. Send an email to me, cwlawrence01@gmail.com. You can call us, the same number, 607-238-3816, and leave a message with us. We would like to look for a guest. I would like to have a psychic come up once a month. I would like to have guests. I would like to have a whole program on subjects. We have some other programs coming up on different topics. We're going to be looking for guests for them. We have had guests in the past, and it's wonderful when they come on. So if you are interested, we would love to have you on the program. 607-238-3816, cwlawrence01@gmail.com, or www.brotherwade.com. Folks, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Mad Max is a lone warrior searching for his destiny, while a tribe of lost children wait for a hero. And in a world battling to survive, they meet a woman determined to rule. Hold out for Mad Max. This is his greatest adventure. Mel Gibson in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, starring Tina Turner, rated PG-13.
Quality limousine service. When in New Jersey, call 201-785-9071.
7 million children suffer from asthma, more than any other chronic disease. Most asthma attacks are caused by allergic reactions to allergens, including those left behind by cockroaches and mice. In fact, 82% of U.S. households contain mouse allergens, and cockroaches are found in up to 98% of urban homes. How can you protect your family? Find out at pestworld.org. A message from the National Pest Management Association and the American College of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology.
You worked too hard, you ate too much, the cheesecake made you greedy. Let your aching head and stomach hear this message from old Speedy. Alka-Seltzer, plop, plop, fizz, fizz, oh, what a relief it is. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz, oh, what a relief it is. Those Speedy bubbles relieve your upset stomach and headache fast. For acid indigestion alone, Alka-Seltzer Gold. Oh, what a relief it is. What a relief.
And there's no place like it. Cause it's so exciting. And there's no place like it.
pollutes the air and the water, he declares war against nature. American International Pictures presents Frogs, the story of the day nature strikes back. It was bound to happen, but why now? Why did these particular people on that particular island face this particular kind of slithering, slimy terror? See Frogs, starring Ray Milland, Sam Elliott, Joan Van Ark, Adam Rourke, and Judy Pace. Frogs, an American International picture, in color, rated PG. Frogs, today the pond, tomorrow the world.
So we're coming back, and back up here. During the break, if you listen to some of these advertisements, they are the I Love New York advertisement, the Frogs movie advertisement. And we have, you're listening to the Brother Wade advertisements here. If you want to advertise, or you have a business, or you have something that you want to say on this program, write me an email, cwlawrence01@gmail.com. And we will get it up there for you. We'll try our very best to get that ad up there, or your business, or your message out to people. I don't deny anybody when it comes to the advertisement breaks. A lot of the breaks are so I can get up, move around, get a drink or whatever, or look up today like today. I've been looking up information. Nothing is happening significant, by the way, folks. Again, nothing significant has changed with what's going on. So, going into the ending of our program today, the conflict, the crisis, the chaos, the terrible events, the war, as I'm calling it, is going to probably continue. The time zones are different, and we'll know more tomorrow. We'll know more about it. We'll know more about what's going to happen. We'll know more about what's going on. We'll know more about who's doing what, where. And I just hope these families can recover. I just hope that these families can get over this situation. Again, we need to pray for them. We need to make sure that they do well. It looks like it's the ending of our program, folks. Again, the email, cwlawrence01@gmail.com. Our website, www.brotherwade.com. The number to call in every week is 607-238-3816. I'm looking for people to come on as guests. We're looking for new programs. Stay tuned. Friend me on Facebook. Get involved with me on Twitter. Get involved in the program. Thank you to our iBlog audience. Thank you for our pirate radio audience. Thank you for our YouNow.com audience. And thank you to our Facebook audience. I will see you guys next week.